The full moon on July the 13th brings with it an inner stirring to embrace a more uplifted, more expansive and evolved life. Really giving you an opportunity to realign yourself to your higher path and really change your life. And in this video today, I want to share with you the 5 key things that I think you should know about this powerful full moon on July the 13th. The first piece here is that now with this full moon, there's also that inner stirring to really change your life. If up until this point you felt like that your life wasn't really the way you wanted to, that you felt like that there was so much more possible for you, but maybe you didn't really know what that was, or you didn't know how to really step into this. Now you really have that. With this full moon, it's really being activated within you, that deep desire to finally change your life. Maybe up until this point you felt held back. Maybe you were a little afraid of really elevating your life, or maybe you felt like you're not ready or not good enough or anything like that. But now this inner stirring is really kickstarting that deep desire that I want to change my life. The way things have been simply doesn't feel right no more. I don't want this no more. I want something better. So this is really a beautiful time for you to really tune in to see what is that more that you want. What is that more elevated, more expansive, more evolved life that you would love to live, that maybe up until this point you haven't even allowed yourself to either live or to even just dream about, or to consider that more is actually possible for you. And that also applies to every area of your life, not just one area, but every area, because it's all interconnected. Your work, your health, your relationships, your finances, everything is interconnected. So here you may want to look at every single area of your life and see, where do you feel out of alignment? Where do you feel that really a deep desire to change that particular area? And then also allow yourself, what would you love to have instead? Because when you're noticing that something doesn't feel right, that maybe there's something in your life that you really don't like anymore, and you're craving something more, it's really important that first you find out, well, what is it that you don't want anymore? What is it that you don't like anymore? What is it that is out of alignment? Because without knowing what is out of alignment, well, you can't really make a change, right? So now with that inner desire really being kickstarted to change your life, it's a great opportunity for you to really look at each area of your life to think, where am I out of alignment? Where does it not feel right? Where do I experience something that I really don't want to experience? And then what do you want instead? Really think big. Allow yourself to dream big, because that is really what's being kickstarted within you, to that drive to change your life. And sometimes we're experiencing something that doesn't feel right quite intensely because it wants to get our attention. Because if it wouldn't be so intense, well, maybe we're ignoring it. Like, yeah, it's okay, I'll just deal with that later. But sometimes you may feel something very, very intensely, whether it is maybe your health is really, really bad, or you're feeling quite down on certain days, or your work just doesn't really fulfill you anymore, and like every day you're getting up and you just wish you would already be home from work. Or if you have your own business, that maybe you're just catching yourself really procrastinating or anything like that. Look out for those really intense feelings in your life, because that is a great indicator that requires an up-leveling. And here really tune in, what is that? Because now you're really being given that opportunity to really up-level your life. But first, of course, you have to figure out, well, what is that? Which brings me to the second piece here, is now you also have an opportunity to reassess and realign. So what I mean with that is, well, I already kind of talked about that a little bit, really reassessing what is out of alignment, but then also certain things that before may have been unaware to you, maybe were kind of hidden in the background, now come to the forefront. So that's what I was mentioning. Sometimes you may feel something very intensely because it's trying to get your attention. And then here you can really assess, what do you want? What do you really want in your life? If you have certain areas in your life that you simply don't like anymore, that doesn't feel right, it doesn't fulfill you, it doesn't feed your soul, well, now take that opportunity to really reassess what is that, and then really step into your power to really allow in those new opportunities, the newness really to come forth. Because as you're becoming aware that, well, I don't like certain things in my life, and well, then this is what I want instead, that aligns you to that higher frequency, that new or more evolved way of being, because then you have a new set point of what you want instead. And when you keep focusing on that and really realigning yourself to that higher vision, then you feel inspired to take certain actions as well to really move forward. But what was previously maybe unaware to you, or maybe it's kind of like out of your reach, you really now have that opportunity to really tap into that and bring it to the forefront, to uncover what is it that you truly want. So here I also want to invite you, really do some gentle contemplation on or around the full moon. And I mean, actually you can do this on a daily basis, just to really do some contemplation. What do I want? What do I really want? Because for one, you are meant to have anything and everything that you want. It is you who limits what you can have. There's nothing outside of you that limits you. It's what you decide for yourself what you want. Now, of course, then there are other pieces that come with it, that things that need to happen in order for you to have it, but you can truly have whatever it is that you want. But first you got to become aware of what do you really want. And now that's really a beautiful time to really tune in and really reassess what is out of alignment, and then choose something new. Allow it and really connect yourself energetically with that higher vision of yourself. What is it that you feel called to do? What does your soul feel called to do? Now here I want to invite you to check out my 5-day challenge. It's a free challenge. It's about unlocking your soul's blueprint, because your soul already knows what it wants. Your soul already knows deep down what is meant to unfold. But you as the person, the human being, you may not. So tapping into your soul's blueprint is a powerful way for you to really live your life in alignment. I put the link in the description below if that's of interest to you, or you can also go to unlockyoursoulsblueprint.com and sign up for the free 5-day challenge. I think you're gonna love it. Then the third piece here is that your life is now being illuminated. What I mean with that is, think of it like that. There's a flashlight shining on all areas of your life, really giving you insights into where are you out of alignment, where do you feel like something doesn't fit no more, where do you feel like you have outgrown certain things. So now you're really, if you pay attention, you will notice what is out of alignment, what no longer fits, what is really outdated, what is actually asking to be released. And that's what I mentioned earlier. Sometimes we're feeling certain things very, very intensely because it's like that wake-up call, like, look, something is not right. It's like screaming at you. And now with this full moon energy, really think of it like that. There's a flashlight shining on each area of your life, even like in the little crevices and everything, in the corners, in the hidden corners, giving you the opportunity to really see and become aware. Really pointing out the areas that are out of alignment. And here, this is also not just externally, but also internally. Here you may want to tune in and see, where are you out of alignment with who you actually want to be? Because if you have a vision of what you want to achieve, who you want to grow into, what you want to do, what your soul really is desiring to do, but then you keep talking yourself out of certain things, or you saying, oh, I'm not good enough for this, I can't do this yet, or it's going to be too difficult, I don't have the money for this, but I really want, but now I can't afford this. Things like that. You're now being made aware of all of those things internally, and also, of course, externally, that are simply out of alignment with that more elevated way of being, that more expanded way of living your life, that more heart-centered way of living as well. So become aware of that. If you can maybe take your journal and go somewhere where you can be undisturbed, and maybe just really think about every area of your life. Really allow yourself to be guided, allow yourself to be shown. It's all about being gentle with yourself. You're not judging yourself, but really having an open mind to really think, well, what is out of alignment? What am I now ready to uncover? What am I now ready to see that maybe previously I wasn't ready to see? This is such a powerful way of really uncovering all the areas that are out of alignment. And now with this full moon energy, you're really being assisted on so many levels to really become aware of that. Because with awareness comes the power of choice. Once you have the awareness, well, then you have the power to choose differently, to do something about it, to change course, set new intentions, whatever it is that will help you move into the direction that you actually want to go into, that more elevated direction, that more aligned direction. Because now really there's a great opportunity at hand to realign yourself to your higher path. And I want to invite you to just look at your life and allow yourself to uncover where you're holding yourself back. Where are you playing small? Where are you talking yourself out of things, for whatever reason? Take this time right now to get clarity around that, because that will then really help you move forward and really elevate your life. Because with the first thing I shared with you is you have the deep desire now to change your life, but there is that you need to go within first in order to uncover what's out of alignment in order to then really let it go and then change course and move into the direction that you really want to go into. Now, the fourth piece here is you also now have the opportunity to outgrow the voice of limitation. Now, as you're becoming aware that certain things are out of alignment, you have that deep inner desire to change your life, your ego, your personality is going to make itself known, saying, no, that's scary, I don't want that, let's not even go there. You may then feel somewhat of an inner stirring, an inner dissatisfaction, in a little tug of war, so to speak, because part of you really wants that. Part of you knows that there's so much more possible for you and really want to move forward, but then your ego and your personality is saying, no, nope, we're not doing that, nope, because what if you do this and oh my God, the world is going to end, right? If you do that, don't even think about it, that's scary. So you may feel very challenged, especially as you're being shown the areas of your life that are out of alignment. It's easy to kind of fall into, well, feeling complacent or settling for that because you feel like you have no other way. There's no other way for you to change your life or anything like that. Or it may be very, very challenging, or it's hard to do the things that you want or anything like that. Just know this is just your ego trying to keep you playing small. Trying to keep you where you're at right now. And right now you also have this great opportunity to really outgrow the voice of limitation, which is your ego, which is the limited thinking of your ego of I can't do this, I'm not good enough, and all of those different things. And here what you can do is to really tap into this opportunity of really outgrowing the voice of limitation is tune into your heart. Tune into your heart and then allow yourself to see the truth here. Are you really not good enough to do what you want? No. Are you really not ready to get started? No. You are ready. You are deserving. You are good enough. You can do this and so much more. Allow yourself to really connect with your heart and see the truth here. You're good enough to get started. You're good enough to take that next step. You're courageous enough to take that next step, because if you're already having that inner stirring that you want to change your life, well, whatever you want to change your life into, it is possible for you. Because if you can see it within your mind's eye, if you have that deep desire that this is what you want, it is possible for you. So don't think that you can't do this for whatever reason, no matter what circumstances you're in or situation you're in or anything like that. It doesn't matter. You can have whatever it is that you want. Of course, it may take some time. It will take you to grow into that. And that's why it's important to look at the areas that are out of alignment, to look at also what is causing you to feel the way you do, and then really challenge your ego. Challenge your ego. Tell your ego, no, you go into the back seat, have a little time out. I don't need you right now. I choose my path. I choose me. I choose my desires over any of those fears and doubts and limited thinking, any of that. I choose what my soul desires. When you make that decision and really set those clear intentions of what you want, for one, it is so empowering when you do that, and two, that shifts your vibration. Now, of course, it's not going to happen right in that moment. It takes some time for you to really reassure yourself, reaffirm yourself every single day to say, this is what I want. This is what I want. These are my intentions. I want this. I'm going to have this. There's no question about it. Then the only thing you just have to do is be patient. Be patient that it will unfold whenever you're ready to have whatever you want. But right now, you really have that powerful opportunity to outgrow your voice of limitation, to really challenge it. Challenge all the nonsense it's throwing at you, and allow yourself to see the higher truth. Set those new intentions and really decide this is it. Decide that this is what you want, and then let go and release any of the fears, the doubts, and all of that. And I also have a video that can maybe help you with that. It's a light code activation to help you surrender and let go. I put the link in the description below so you can check that out as well. So if you're feeling challenged right now, watch that video, and allow yourself to really let go of any of those doubts, the fears, the limitations, all that small-minded, limited thinking of your ego, so you can really let that go. And then the fifth piece here, which is really beautiful, is that your inner strength is now also being activated and also being turned up to really step into your power. Now, a lot is happening with this full moon energy. I just mentioned to you, you have the desire to really elevate your life, to change your life. Then your ego is going to be challenged. But when you're really going through the motion, and of course also then your life is being illuminated of the areas that are out of alignment, all that will really then help you, or is actually also necessary to really kickstart that inner strength to say, no, I don't want all that I've experienced up until this point. I want something better. Because without that inner strength, well, then you're just going to keep going in circles and circles and circles and keep doing the same thing, always hoping for a different outcome, but it's never really going to change because your inner strength isn't really activated. So now with this full moon energy, that also what happens is your inner strength is really tuned up as well, or turned up as well, really helping you step into your power. Because as you're looking at the areas of your life that you really don't want and that you don't like, that are outdated or misaligned, and you're really tapping into that deep desire of what you want instead, you're challenging your ego, that in itself is empowering. Because when you really challenge your ego, you're tapping into your inner strength, because you're seeing the higher truth. And I really want to invite you, maybe even tune into your heart and really embrace that feeling of, I am strong, I'm courageous, I can do this. Maybe even use those affirmations that I am powerful, I'm courageous, I'm at the top of the world, my life is getting better and better. Every day is getting better and better. Every day I'm getting closer and closer to reaching my goal. Whatever you need to help you really kickstart that inner empowerment is really going to help you really take that next step, because that's what's necessary. Once you know what you don't want and where you want to go, and you're setting those intentions, well, then you have to take action on that. You have to take that next step forward. And even if it's just a small one, but taking those steps forward is very, very important. So really embrace that feeling that's really being kickstarted within you. Really tune up your inner power, your inner strength even more. You can even visualize seeing that knob and really turning it up all the way to 100 or 120 or whatever you want to go. And really feel that empowerment, because you can do this. You can do anything and everything that you want. Like I said, the only one that is putting a limit to you achieving what you want is you. And that's not for you to judge yourself. Believe me, there are times when I hold myself back, when I have to do basically what I just shared with you, really challenging my ego. But even then, I grow as fast as I'm ready to grow. And you do the same. You grow as fast as you are ready to grow. But just know that you really are in charge of how fast you're growing. You are really in charge of that, and you definitely have it within you to create the life that you truly want. So tap into that inner feeling of strength. Really tune in, embrace it, and then set those new intentions and then act upon those intentions. So if you're looking at each area of your life that felt out of alignment, and you know, okay, this is what I want instead, then pick one area maybe that you want to focus on. One area that will have a ripple effect, because it's all interconnected anyway. So let's say you have a business and you really want to focus on that, or your career, or your health. Maybe your health is really not that good, and it's affecting your life, your joy, your happiness, your relationship, your friendships, your family, or even your work. Well, then focus on your health. If finances is an area that you really want to focus on, well, then focus on that, because it's all interconnected. If there's one area out of alignment, it affects all the other areas. So maybe focus on one area and then think, what can you do? What is that next best step that you can take to make an improvement in there? And then do that. Take that step, and then it's on a daily basis you want to take those steps, okay? It's not just you do it once and then ta-da, your life is changed, but it's like your consistent commitment to that higher path, your consistent commitment to you choosing you and your desires over any fears and doubts and all that, and of course your consistent commitment to really taking action, to move forward. It's about when you're in movement, that's when things unfold. And oftentimes we're not being given the entire picture or the entire step-by-step process, because that will be, for one, overwhelming for us, and then we also may be given things that are still outside of our comfort zone and we resist it. So that's why you're being given one piece at a time, one step at a time. Think of it like that. It's like the puzzle pieces are being given to you one piece at a time. But just when you're taking those steps, when you are really acting upon your new intentions, then opportunities will be forthcoming, doors will open up, and your life will accelerate. Okay, so these are the 5 key things that I really felt called to share with you about the full moon on July the 13th. Now I want to ask you, what is your elevated path moving forward? What do you desire to call forth? And I want to invite you, maybe write a new story. Write a new story of the life that you really truly want to live. And I want to really invite you, check out my 5-day challenge, the Unlock Your Soul's Blueprint. I also help you create a new and more empowered story for yourself, where you really energetically align yourself with that to really call it forth even quicker. So link is in the description below, but you can also go to unlockyoursoulsblueprint.com, sign up for the free challenge. I really think you're gonna love it. But here you go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out this next video about the light language activation to help you surrender and let go, so you can really let go of a lot of the stuff that's really holding you back. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.